Welcome back to episode 15 of the Barnsey podcast. It is March 2016. It has been quite a while since our last episode. Lots of reasons for it, but yeah, it has been. Technically, we just figured out that the last episode was in October, which was an audio-only episode. So those that catch us on iTunes and Stitcher and whatnot, that would be the official last episode, but the one before that is actually back in August of last year. So apologies for taking so long to get you the next episode, but here we are. Brewer's with me. I'll just bring Brewer on.
Hey guys.
And yeah, so we're back with a video episode. The last episode, as I said, was just an audio only episode, which after the fucking debacle again tonight, set up the fucking podcast with video and the whole deal. Audio only could be the way to go, just to punch out a more regular episodes. Oh, my focus is going all in. Yeah, just to be able to punch out more regular episodes, because yeah, fucking like 3 hours, you get like a spark of inspiration to have a podcast. And I have had people contacting me wanting to be guests and stuff, but another reason why we haven't done an episode for a while is, yeah, we've basically had to move. We're no longer in the old studio, the old Rumpus studio that we did the last few episodes from. Essentially, yeah, we've had to move house and move the podcast studio to a new dig. So here we are. It's actually still kind of in progress because, as you can see, we're just like piled into a bedroom and doing it. So
and probably do it on the couch.
Yeah, and with the proper mics, like we're just doing the handheld styles. I've got the Axel muff going.
It needs to be white.
So yeah, apologies if the audio is not up to the usual scratch, but yeah, I will get it set up properly, and
fucking Jesus.
Having a space where we can have it like the gear just at hand, so that when we do get inspired to do another episode, we can just grab it and go for it. But yeah, so what have you been up to lately, Brewer?
Oh, working. Oh, fucking, if August was my last one that I've done, I'm fucking, yeah.
Shitloads has happened since August.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Well,
were you working this job in August?
No, yeah, I was. I'm in a new store now, and yeah, back into the retail grind, and yeah, standard moving was a really big thing that we had to oversee, which was a fucking cunt, as it usually is. Excuse my language, but
man, it was a hard one. It was that move was a hard one.
It wasn't a hard one, man. It was pretty fucking easy with the removalists and shit we had.
Yeah. Make sure you keep the mic on. I can hear you coming in and out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I technically had to help Mum move 2 days before we moved, so I did like 2 house moves in a weekend, and oh my god, just
Mum's one sounded like a real fucking bitch.
Yeah, that wasn't easy, and it was with removalists and shit, but even still, it was like, seriously, it was like a 12-hour day, and this is moving like 3 suburbs, to give you an idea of how much stuff and how difficult some of the stuff was. And the removalists were our removals were awesome.
Oh, they were great. They were champion dudes. They did it pretty quickly. Wasn't too much hassle.
Can't remember the name of the company, but yeah, if I can remember it, I'd recommend them as a good priced and awesome quick removalists. Oh man, I don't want to have to remove a house ever again. We're gonna have to do it again at some stage, but god damn, it's
cull
painful.
Your shit. That's all I can say is cull your shit. It's the only thing that's going to help.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of shit to move, and we had a situation where we're in a pretty big place going to like an apartment, so downsizing, is... Well, I've got the like goddamn recording studio that had its own room, and it's now sitting in a bedroom. So, the fact that we can even sit in here and like, is quite a miracle. Moving sucks. I hate it.
Some people actually revel in it and like it. And
what?
Well, fuck. Our mum was the same. Oh, I like moving. It's something new and it's an adventure and fucking wank wank. How about fuck off? Like, honestly, it's fucked. It's like, I don't know. Take a poll out there. People fucking like moving. I very much doubt it. It's expensive. It's
I can understand, like, you know, it's like exciting to go to a new place and whatnot, and you know, you get to figure out where you set up all of your stuff in a whole new setup. But it's just the fact of going through stuff like that. Your eyes might not have actually laid upon, like, since the last time you moved it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, and when you're looking at doing the move, I found myself like just, wanting to cull as much as I could, and I got ruthless and chucked heaps of stuff. And I needed to be able to, you know, physically fit my shit in this new place, including some, you know, studio gear that I, like, you know, sold for peanuts, but it was really to the point where I hadn't used this gear for like 5+ years. Some of it was like gear that wasn't working properly, and it was like in my mind of, you know, one day I'm going to get that fixed, you know. So moving that stuff again was just like silly. So just chucked it up on, like, you know, Gumtree. And
still more isn't there as well.
Yeah, well, I've got stuff stashed at mum's that, you know, like that massive old mixing desk. And
what about the shit you've got at Ants as well?
Tape machine and my bass amp still there.
Oh.
Tape machine's the big thing. This is like a 2-inch 24-track tape machine, which is like, seriously, like, what's
the model of it?
An Ampex MM1200. I'm trying to guess how much it weighs, and there's probably a spec I could look up online for how much it weighs, but for all intents and purposes, it may as well weigh a ton, because there's no way. I remember when I got it moved out of the recording studio on Artarmon, and that was just down one flight of stairs, and I had to hire piano removalists. Right? And it was these, like, was it 4 dudes? I think it was 4 dudes, 4 massive, like rugby player sized dudes, huge tanks, and they rock up and they look at it. And okay, so the size of this thing, it's like a.
So what was it called? Amtech?
Ampex, AMPEX. And these guys,
M what?
MM1200.
Cool.
Yeah, this guy's rocked up and they looked at it, and it's like it's not a size of a mini fridge, and it's not the size of a full size fridge. It's about halfway, you know, between those two sizes, to give you an idea. But it's just so full of componentry and so full of stuff. Hang on, I'll switch to your mic. Oh, you're all right, camera.
Is it gonna work?
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah. So, if anybody's seen the awesome documentary Sound City, which is the Dave Grohl directed documentary about the studio in Van Nuys, California.
It's tang. Watch it.
That recorded, if you were listening to sort of, you know, heavy music in the 90s, pretty good chance you've got a large selection of CDs that were recorded at Sound City. And anyway, yeah, in that documentary you can see shots of that same model. They had an Ampex MM1200.
All right.
So anyway, yeah, so these guys rock up, look at this thing, and they basically go down to their truck and they get just like straps, like big thick straps, and just looped over the straps, like over their shoulders, and then put the straps like underneath the tape machine, like, you know, 4 of these guys all like strapped up, and they would just like stand up and like lift it and like go shuffle, and these 4 guys, it took them like, I reckon, an hour to get them down. Do you remember the stairs at the studio? Just an hour to get it just down that staircase.
Fucking hell.
So the prospect of moving that kind of shit is just
a nice wide staircase too. Imagine fucking a short staircase. How did they get it up fucking there?
Where it is now.
Yeah.
A winch, apparently. I actually wasn't there when it got up into that room.
Fuck.
Yeah. So
Jesus, well, how the fuck are you going to move that?
It's not just a case of how am I going to move that, but where does it go when I move it? So yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So we've moved house. We're in a new place to do the podcast. So hopefully we'll try and pump them out a bit more regularly now that we've settled and all that kind of shit. I scored a new job as well at this like really cool company. It's like this tech company. I won't say what the name of the company is, just because you never know what I can talk about on these podcasts and incriminate myself. But it's an awesome big tech company, right? Like think like Google or Facebook or like Amazon or something like that. That kind of like high-end tech company, multinational, and pretty sweet job, like just doing like internal tech support for the staff inside the actual
donuts,
company.
Man, what was with those donuts?
This is the thing.
Was there a cronut in there?
I
thought I saw a cronut in there.
Maybe.
Cronuts are the shit.
So what Brewer's talking about is that I've only been at this job for a few weeks, but it's one of those places that's like got full perks in terms of like the offices are just like freaking amazing. Like I've got like this awesome view of Darling Harbour from basically where I sit, like almost like 270-degree view of like all of Darling Harbour. And I remember I took a photo and I sent it to Jerry, who's been on the podcast, and he wrote back going Darling Harder, because it looks like my building looks like I'm up in Nakatomi Plaza.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And yeah, so there's like full perks, and there's like already I've been there for like 2 weeks, and we've gone bowling, we've gone and had drinks on the company like 2 times. The free food, like seriously, I've got to be careful, like the amount of seriously, they had this donut layout the other day, and I filmed it. It's like crazy, like full gourmet, like Oreo donuts, and like
fuck man, he dead.
Like full apple crumble donuts that are like full. All I did was I decided I was going to get the jam donut. I thought, I got to get a jam donut, thinking it would be like most jam donuts, like just one located area of the donut has the jam and the rest of it's just like dough. Right? Nah. This thing was like packed everywhere you bit was just like jam, and it was like chunks of fruit in it, not just like some liqueur.
Coddies.
Yeah, it was like all tasty. And what else have they had? Like
what about coffee though? Like, do they have proper coffee, or is it all like pod coffee? And shit?
It's one of the.
Failed to see one of these Tang offices with like full, like, all right, we'll take your order.
Yeah, no, not that
like
far.
An international roast.
It is a pod thing. It's not like the like the deep pods. It's like the round foil ones, and you just feed
they're the
them
good
in.
ones. Yeah.
But
they're
even
still pretty shitty,
man.
Like they're passable.
Oh yeah, like there's a couple of strong like ones. If you like do a double shot of a strong one, it's pretty hectic. But it's still not a proper brewed coffee. Yeah. But dude, coffee pods, man, like can you imagine the landfill that's being created? The fucking sheer waste. Like
whoever came up with the idea of getting into these corporates, get your fucking coffee. They would have made a fortune.
Oh, well, this is another thing about this place I'm working in and these perks. It's not just like these donuts and stuff. They're the extra food they bring in. It's like constant food. So there's like, cupboards of like, what do they got? They got those Carmen's muesli bars. They've got like
cereal and shit.
Heaps of cereal, like whole cupboards full of cereal. Like, so most people just like eat breakfast at work.
Do people like get whacked there or some shit? Like, it sounds like fucking Munchie Central. Donuts and cereal.
Well, see, the whole thing with these companies, especially these tech companies that provide these perks, is for them, they've figured it out. They make enough money, and their employees, especially their sales staff, which a lot of the people that I work with are salespeople, are worth their money so much that paying for all those perks keeps them at their desk longer, keeps them not needing to go out of the office as much, so they just can stay productive, and they can come in early and then just grab breakfast there and then go straight back and then deal with that, that sale. And for them, all of those spending, like, there's staff dedicated to just going, because there's like 3 floors on this building that are this company, and there's staff just dedicated to all day going between all of the kitchens and just making sure everything's restocked and just cycling through and then doing everyone's dishes and so it's pretty crazy. I had somebody tell me that I should start a fat journal.
Camera, careful.
I should start a fat journal. Because it's going to get pretty fucking interesting over the next couple of weeks. You've got food going out.
Yeah, I'll be 2 seconds. I'll just put some meat.
All right, sweet.
No, you got some meat.
So what did I want to talk about this podcast? I've got a couple of things. Obviously, it's been so long since the last episode, so a couple of things have been accruing, and I've been trying to keep my notes, but then they don't stay relevant, and so much shit's going on. You know what it's been like lately, news just moves so fast. So if you write something down from a few months ago to talk about, it's so much extra shit happens so quickly. So I wanted to talk about now that I'm working again. One of the things that's happening is I'm obviously traveling to and from work, and I hadn't been doing it for a while. And the last few jobs that I've had, I've actually been driving my car to and from wherever I've been working. But this particular job and where I'm living at the moment just so happens that it works out way more economical and easier to public transport it. It's like one train, right, from where I live to where I go to work, and it's only like a few minutes walk to the station, and then a few more minutes walk from the station to my actual workplace. Okay, so what I was talking about was that now that I'm working again, it just turns out that it's easier. Am I in shot? Yeah, it's easier. And I haven't been working for a while, so it's easier for me to actually catch public transport to this job. And my last few jobs before that, I was actually driving. So it's been first time in a little while that I've gone back into the, catching public transport during the peak hour thing. And it's like, it's all right to just stick your headphones in and, put your head down and try and deal with it. But sometimes, oh man, and you just get, and I've probably complained about this on the podcast
fucking go.
But fuck, man, the
public transport is fucked,
man. It just reminds you the herd mentality. Like when you put a lot of people into congested areas like cities.
First thing in the morning as well. That's the other factor as well. It's like, you couldn't be fucked. I couldn't be fucked that time in the morning. I don't have time for other fuckwits.
And fair enough, just fucking stick headphones in. That's actually another thing I want to talk about real quickly is fucking headphones. Do you ever wear headphones? Do you ever listen to shit? Well, you've got your gaming headphones.
Gaming headset.
Yeah. Now they're full open ear.
The surround sound. Faux surround sound, full proper Logitech G29 headset, wired, not wireless.
I've always been, I don't know, I guess the technology's gotten better, but I've always been suspicious of that faux surround.
I don't like it.
Because what it's doing is that obviously there's not more speakers in the cup.
I was going to ask, how does that actually work? Do they not do that? I would have thought they would have had to have done that.
No, it's all
algorithm.
It's all done with phase. They phase shift stuff. So to create the illusion that something's here, what you can do is you can change the phase and slightly delay between your two ears to make things appear orally 3D. That they come from behind or in front, or localize in the stereo field, not just from that. But true surround sound has actually got a discrete channel of audio, which is those rear speakers. The headphones aren't going to do that. They've just got one driver on each ear. So to mimic that, it's basically fucking with the sound to create an illusion, an
I have
auditory
seen
illusion.
some gaming, like, really expensive. You can get these Astro ones, which are apparently pretty good. And they come with like a little box, right? And it's like a mixer box that goes to the headphones. And you can see on there it's got like different volumes and gains for left, right, sub and shit.
Yeah.
So would that, or is it just not enough room in the headphones for it to be able to give the proper spacing?
As I say, I don't know how good the technology is now. I remember first looking at it when the claim of 3D sound or surround sound
that
in
shit
headphones
on
was around. And this is like a number of years ago when they first started bringing it out. So the technology might be better. And maybe there's some high-end headphones that are got more drivers in the thing. But even if you think about it, like,
there's not enough room for, like, you know,
to get localized enough so it sounds like it's coming from behind you.
Fucking massive headphones, and you just like a knob.
Now,
You just
have you ever worn those in-ear headphones?
Well, in my current job, I test a lot of phones and I use a lot of earbuds and stuff like that. So yes,
Okay, so
the Apple ones are pretty fucking good.
I've got
to admit
the standards. These are just the standards that come with a
the Samsung standard ones are shit.
They're shit?
Yeah, I don't like them. They feel cheap, and I don't know. I haven't really used them extensively, so
they're the type that have actually. They're not just like your in-ear that just like sits behind that bit of meat there in your ear, but they've actually got like what's almost like an ear plug part. So, like, you know, like a bit of plastic. Sure. The idea is that cuts out a lot of outside sound. So
anyone
you don't have
with a
to turn.
Samsung phone would know exactly what we're talking about. So it comes standard with all Samsungs.
So, number one, I fucking can't get used to them. Hey, like they just feel so fucking weird in my ear canals.
That's exactly right. I don't particularly like those ones. I think they feel a bit weird.
But even your standards, right? Even your standard
old school ones, they get sore after a while.
Like those ones. Yeah, they do. And they sound like shit.
In my experience,
there's no bottom end response. And that's the thing with the ones that actually go in your ear, those Samsung styles. At least they've got a bit more coupling, like, and a bit more like, you know, it creates more bass, basically, those ones. But they still... Okay, so with those ones, right... I don't know what it is. I must have different shaped ears because my right ear will not stay in. Man, sometimes I walk like some idiot, like walk like an Egyptian or something. Like I just deliberately try not to move my head, and it just comes out. And I tell you what, I cannot do with those kind of headphones or any kind that basically sit in my ear. No, lying down, I can't say I've tested it all. I like lying like on a pillow, your ear,
and you're like, wow, fuck.
Eating or chewing anything. When I chew, my jaw, it just makes my ear canals move so much, and they just fall the fuck out. So that was a long way of going to the point of, yeah, I'm trying to put my headphones in and just like, you know, deal with the commute by just like listening to a podcast or something. But man, the fucking headphones.
What about your Bluetooth headphones? I think over-ear headphones are the better way to go.
The foam came off, like the kind that like just had like stuck on foam.
Can I show it to the camera?
Stuck on foam on the actual earpiece, like, but the foam has come off. See, for people watching, there's foam. Like. Just plastic there now. and without that foam, they do not sit right. They wreck my ears now without the foam. They sound like crap because of that same thing I was talking about before with the decoupling of the actual speaker against you. You lose a lot of bass response. And the thing that I've never been able to really do with these is wear them and wear sunglasses. There's not enough room in that ear crevice, for the arm of the sunglasses and this thing. And in the times that I have managed to make it work, I think I've looked like an idiot because my glasses have actually been lifted a bit above so my glasses aren't actually sitting on the bridge of my nose. They're actually levitating a little, like just a little bit above my nose.
And yeah, I think there's
that would look like a fucking tool fucking move.
Over-ear headphones are going to be better. They're just going to be better.
I've just on eBay I got a cheap like Bluetooth adapter, right? So it will receive Bluetooth from my phone, and then that Bluetooth adapter has just a headphone jack on
3.5 mil.
So I can put any pair of headphones into it I want. But
no, you're not going to go and get some Dr. Dre's or something, are you?
Fuck that.
We get them traded. I work in a second-hand place, and we get a lot of those traded in, and I can't believe how expensive they are, and they're just shit.
There's a couple of articles online,
like you'd know, man. Like the
people have pulled them apart and gone like they're like $40 worth of components.
Fucking crap.
And they're the kind of headphones that are like, you know, they've had a very deliberate EQ curve put on them. They're bassy as shit, and if you listen to Dre.
Yeah, that's it, man. Like,
they probably sound awesome for that.
And they do look nice. Like, they come in a nice box with, like, a nice case, and some of them look like, oh, man, they're nice headphones. But when you actually listen to them and you look at the price tag, you're like, fuck that. Yeah. You get some studio-quality headphones. Like, just normal fucking headphones. For the same price. They're not going to look as good. They come with a fancy case, but you know the frequency response is proper. Like, I would have... For me... That's more important than them fucking looking good, but...
Yeah, but then you're going to be that guy that's like, you know, because the best sounding headphones are fucking big. And you occasionally see that guy. And I used to have respect. I used to be like, dude, respect. You look like a fucking idiot or some fucking spaceman from the 70s. But you are enjoying quality sound right now.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. And the other thing is like, sometimes... You know, the good thing about like small headphones or these is that like you can just like go somewhere and not have to like deal with these massive pair of headphones when you get there. So I'm on my way to go have a drink with you in the city, and I want to listen to a podcast on the train on the way in with my massive big headphones. I get there and it's the whole night I'm dealing with these fucking. Whereas these I can just sit them on my neck. Or
so you need your fucking boob split bag. To fucking put them in.
Strap boob
bag. You know, fucking tip your fedora.
Has anyone else on the internet heard about this? You got to look it up. It's so good. I don't know if it was a Reddit thread or if it was like just some random thing that fucking Tommy Chong posted on fucking Facebook. He posts some weird shit on Facebook, that dude, man. I'm pretty sure it was Tommy Chong. And it's one of these shit websites, though. He always links it, like the Chive. Have you ever been to the Chive? No. And so it's one of these
malware
clickbait sites. Yeah. That's just laden with ads. And it's like, here's 21 photos of strap boob. So just while I'm on this, let me explain it. It's chicks that wear like a bag or something, right, that has a strap. And the strap goes like in between, and usually hugs the undercoog. So it really like it's like basically like stretching your shirt.
Sweaty dudes that wear them as well.
What, those like filler bags?
Yeah, the over shoulder, you know, not quite a backpack with the flap on it, and they can never fucking find anything. Fucking all sweaty and smell like shit.
Strap. Now, how do we get onto the strap boob? Oh, headphones.
Putting them into your strap boob bag.
So, yeah, I actually went a bit off track there. But anyway, the whole thing I was talking about was actually catching public transport and being reminded again of just how shitty people can be. Like, seriously.
I believe the post is strap boob has come to play.
Is that it?
The Chive.
The Chive, there you go. Oh, that's what I was talking about. The Chive is one of these fucking clickbaity websites where it's like 21 photos of strap boob. And you're like, yeah, I've got time for 21 photos of strap boob. 21's a good number. That's plenty. That's worth going.
Each click, you need to click for each photo. It's not 21
and it's not an easy just next. You got to scroll down past an ad or two and then get to the next one. And of course you go through the 21 of them. So you're paying like they're probably just made like no, but they're probably making
They've made a lot. Yeah. And you've probably got some fucking malware, some keyloggers.
Chive malware.
Chive. Never heard of it.
All right, so Yeah, I won't go on too much about the whole fucking complaining about having to fucking catch a train.
Overall, because you did it a while ago, how does it compare to the other missions that you've had to do on public transport?
Oh, it's easy. I was saying before you came in, it's like it's one train ride. It's like a few minutes walk each way from here to the station and then the station to work. So it's piss easy. It's packed though. The trains are packed. Luckily, I'm getting on at a station that is before it gets super packed.
Where does it get super packed? Like Sydenham or something like that?
No, it doesn't stop. I don't go on that line, but if it's an all stops, it'll like be only one or two more stops, like Summerhill and then Stanmore or whatever it is, and then it's
Redfern,
like people ready to cut each other to be able to fucking just get on the train. By the time it gets to like Newtown, several mornings I've seen people like not get on the train.
Oh fuck!
And it's just like,
do people put bag on seat?
Oh, that's just one of the things.
The bag on seat.
That's one of the things.
You just look at people and just shake your head. You're like, what the fuck, man? Like, we've all got to do this. Why
just
do you
put it on your lap? Just put it on your lap. Not only that, but the people that like. Okay, so I can understand. I know I'm not God. I don't make the rules, but like here's how I reckon is fair play. So you've got train seats that are 3-seaters and then 2-seaters, right?
Yeah.
And then you got
Sydney trains, guys.
And then you got the 3-seater where it's not completely full yet, but people don't want to be like sitting next to each other, right next to each other on a 3-seater. So they leave middle seat free. Now, new person gets on train and they're like, can I sit down? Allowing them to sit in the middle is fine. And you stay... Yeah, if you want to slide over to the middle as well, that's cool. But generally, people go up and go, well, you know, we've gotten our elbow on the nice bits. You're new here, you get the middle of that 3-seater.
You're new here.
Okay? That's all right. But what shits me is people that want to stay on the outside of a 2-seater. And then someone new gets on the train and they're like, can I sit down? And then, or just like, just knees are moved.
Yeah, they're cunts, man. Some people are cunts.
Seriously.
They are honestly, like, some people, like, I don't want to hear about your fucking life on the fucking, like, honestly, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning and you're yelling on your phone to your mate about what happened last night.
I heard some woman
Johnny's fucking school trip or whatever. Fucking shut the fuck up. Like,
I heard some woman the other morning, this is like fucking 8 o'clock in the morning, just like organising a dinner party, right? And like she'd call one person, it's like, I really hope you can be there. What about Carol?
Fucking Carol.
I don't want to know. I'm just like...
Don't you fucking just hate Carol.
And then like it was like 4 phone calls and then one of them couldn't make it and it's like, I'm really disappointed, like just like living your life in my face, in everyone's face. We're just trying to get to this fucking job to earn the fucking money so we don't get out on the street. This is 8 o'clock in the fucking morning, man. Organising a dinner party and being loud as about it and like being all like legs fully like not helping the person that's sitting next to him, and then you get the fucking still I know I've complained about this on the podcast, but I'm gonna say it again, the fucking stinky food eaters on packed trains. Are you that arrogant that your parmesan covered fucking shit, you're gonna peel that lid off now? Just hold it until you get off the train. Like seriously, you got to do it now. Like that to me is just like, man, sometimes I don't know, people just yeah. So yeah, going on the train can be fucking bringing some new aggravation to the podcast. What else did I want to talk about? Well, I guess one thing we should probably talk about is like, or a couple of things we should talk about is like, you know, how much shit has happened since the last podcast. Like, I was just thinking about it before. Like, a lot of my notes that I've like kept for like bringing up on the podcast are like now a couple of months old because it's been a while since I've done an episode. And as usual, like, times just fucking, you know, just shit seems to be happening so quickly, and so much happens in such little time. Like, massive news events happen so fast paced these days, that you talk about something from a few months ago and it's like it's fully dated, and it's like it's almost like way past. But I guess one of the major things that's happening since the last time we had a podcast is they're getting into the more serious end of the US election. And
it's like till fucking November.
I know, but like, I don't think we even mentioned Donald Trump on our previous podcast.
No, he wasn't worth mentioning.
But think about how quickly that he's now become basically the front runner to take the GOP nomination. Like, that's
those fucking delegate things. Yeah, he's almost got the required number.
Yeah,
but they're saying that he won't be the nominee even if he wins.
Well, they
won't select him.
They'll have to pull something. I've been reading a couple of articles saying that, you know, people want to in the GOP, like all of the other candidates can do something by banding together to like get him to not officially get the nomination. But man, that'll destroy the Republican Party.
This will be a fucking joke. But it looks like it's happening.
Yeah.
Like, we watched last night, and just that shit about the wall is just, and that's just a slice of the fucking shit he said, you know. And that was probably around, you know, November-ish last year. I remember murmurs about it, and everybody was laughing, like, what the fuck, mate? And watched that last week tonight. There's been a couple of good last weeks. Trump. The one a few weeks ago was fucking awesome.
It's going to be a beautiful wall. It's going to be beautiful. I was watching this thing online.
Don't worry, they'll pay for it.
This guy did an analysis of all of Trump's like speeches and interviews, and since he basically started running, and like basically ran it through some like kind of algorithm to figure out like most common words that he would use. And what they found is that he very, very rarely uses big words, multi-syllable words.
Right.
Like he likes to keep it really simple and really straight ahead, really like easy to grasp and understand kind of phrasing. And they reckon that this isn't actually a premeditated approach to appeal to the people that he's appealing to. And it's pretty full on. Like, next time you watch him talk, kind of keep that in mind, that he doesn't use very complex words.
Is that by design or just because he can't use very complex words?
Like, I think
I'm pretty sure
underestimating the intelligence of Trump is a dangerous thing.
He didn't get to where he is by being a dumb cunt, you know. Like, he's still very successful, you know. All the stuff you throw at him, you can't deny that, you know, he's done very well.
Yeah. But, you know, fucking Dave Mirra is an awesome BMX rider. Doesn't mean he should be president.
No, of course not. Of course not. He contradicts himself, like, and he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, he contradicts himself, and they pull him up on it, and he's like, so what? And people aren't holding him to account for that. There's only one.
He just seems to brush it off, even if you do pull him up on it.
And then the people brush it off as well. It's like, well, hang on. Like, are you fucking blind?
The one thing that I don't say I'd like about Trump, and especially now, like now it's getting to the point where it's like it's really either scary that he'll actually be a nominee and scary that he might actually take the presidency.
He won't win. There's no fucking way. But he won't win the presidency.
In the early days of it, I was actually like, let's watch this. This is pretty interesting, because it was almost like
challenging the status quo.
It's something that really hasn't happened before. Like, people talk about Ross Perot. He was this like self-financed independent candidate, and apparently I don't remember this, but apparently he bought a whole bunch of TV time and used it to explain
We've talked a lot about the
I can't remember what it was. Might have even been like the Reserve Bank, in the way that the
debt we had.
the Reserve Bank is like the central money like production that's not actually an arm of the government. It's a private bank.
1.1 trillion. That's good news.
The Federal Reserve, sorry. And yeah, something like that. Like, but so yeah, Ross Perot's kind of like somebody that came in and like disrupted the system and wasn't beheld to, you know, other powers. But Trump, man, like, you know, I remember one of the things that he said in one of his early speeches was talking about how there's money in politics and how everyone's just bought and paid for. And he's like, no one can buy me. And that's a pretty good point. And he's like, you know what? Not only can no one buy me, but I bought all the rest of them. He's like, back in the last election cycle, he's like, I gave Hillary Clinton $1 million.
He's going to look after his mates that helped him make his millions, and fucking, you know, get him to where he is. Of course, he's going to look after them, number one.
Yeah,
Like, I was saying to my work colleagues today, you know, if he gets in, which I very much doubt, that will be the catalyst for World War III. Something will happen. He'll do something stupid, and it'll be on. You know, like, think about in that kind of scenario. What are we going to do? You know, like, fuck, we're allies, close allies with America, and they go to war over something fucking silly. We can't really go, well, nah, you know. We wouldn't have to. It's interesting to think about. It won't happen. I very much doubt it won't happen. It's like, I've got a sports section of DVDs, right?
Yeah.
And I look at it every fucking day, and it just stares at me every day, and I just can't believe that this dude's running for president, and it's WrestleMania something.
Yeah.
Right? And it's got him and fucking Vince McMahon, wrestlers up the top, and the subtitle is hair versus hair. And this dude is running for president. The dude that was playing Trump as a character.
Yeah.
You don't think he's just doing that now?
For sure.
Fucking hey.
Definitely. He's playing up for it.
It's so see-through, but people don't give a fuck, apparently. They just want a war. And they get rid of Mexicans, and they fucking go and bomb some muzzies. Like, it's dangerous.
It's definitely gone past the point of like piquing an interest to see, you know. But I guess one other thing about it that's interesting is, like, isn't this revealing something that's kind of like a flaw in democracy? That if there's enough stupid people, especially...
I don't think it's a flaw in democracy. I think it's a flaw of the electorate, you know? It's a good thing that anybody who has the means and the will
Isn't that the fundamental principle of it? Is that if you've got the majority of the support, if you get the votes...
The support, right, should be looking at what he's saying versus what he's been saying in the past and realise that this is fucking absolute bullshit. It's not going to happen. Just because he says it's going to happen doesn't mean it's going to happen. So it's a fault of them. And we're jumping the gun here. It's not. He hasn't even been selected as the nominee. And then he'd have to be selected by the American people as a whole to be nominated president.
Yeah.
And it's a long way away from that happening.
Oh, for sure. Like, if it got down to, like, he did actually get the nomination, but then went into the actual presidential election, I don't think that he'd beat Hillary or Bernie.
And that would probably be democracy prevailing, you know, sanity prevailing.
I suppose, yeah. But the fact that they're talking about how can we get rid of him? How can we, like, not have him as the nomination when he's smashing? He's absolutely smashing. And that's the process that you set up. And it's interesting, like, there's this
But the reason he's smashing isn't a result of the process. The reason he's smashing is because he's telling the people what they presumably want to hear and doesn't give a fuck, you know? So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You just need to try and enlighten these people, which is, you know, probably a fucking... It's not like we're better than them or anything. It's just like, come on, fucking look at it objectively. Like that dude we saw again on last week tonight in one of the rallies. What did it say on his T-shirt? Remember that guy with the T-shirt?
Oh,
like fucking.
He was a wall.
That's
remember?
right.
And Mexico will pay. Or something.
Mexico will pay. That's what it said. Mexico will pay. And just that kind of thinking, man. Like what the fuck, man? Like, I think it's showing us how much of an underbelly of that kind of thinking there is in a place like America.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it'd be prevalent here. It'd be present here. Probably not as prevalent. And
well, I guess we get
Australia first party,
one nation
kind of shit. And it kind of gets a little bit of traction, but not like this.
Yeah.
It's an indictment on that subculture of America, I think. That, it's like, why are you believing him? Any rational person can see that he's fucking lying through his teeth. Fuck, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's entertaining, but
fucking nice. After seeing that video about talking about how he doesn't use big, complex, multi-syllable words, and also in the same video they're talking about how he likes to make himself seem a lot bigger with his hand gestures,
his tiny little hands,
his tiny little fucking he does I can't do it, but now that it's weird, it's almost like when you sort of learn a trick, like the way a trick works, you can never sort of, you're always seeing for the give. And now every time I see Trump talk, especially when he's on that podium in front of a big, big rally style speech, I just can't help but notice, it's all really simple language and the hand gesture stuff. And yeah, but the funny thing is sometimes he's actually thinking on his feet on some of those speeches. We saw that on Last Week Tonight, where he's
the kid,
we can build a wall and we can make it 30 feet high or something. He's yeah, they might be buying 31-foot ladders, but let me tell you something, once they get up the top there, they're up pretty high. They're not going anywhere from there. He's and then he's leaning on the podium, just saying this off the top of his head, once that's high, 31 feet. What are you going to do once you're there? You're not going to jump off. And then you just see his brain tick over. He's yeah, rope, I guess, but he's just not even preparing this shit. He's just going out there and he's just yeah.
And the price of it, it's himself, he went up $4 or $5 billion in different speeches. And then when the experts are asked,
you're talking about how much the wall costs.
It's 5 times what he says, even his fucking top predictions would be. And then he doesn't fucking tell anybody about the maintenance, of course. And they're right, it'll just create a market for large ladders. How are you going to fucking patrol all that shit? How are you going to buy all that land? How are you going to fucking construct the thing? It's just silly. It's just dumb. And for what? Why would you want to do that? It's all a perception thing.
And what spun me about the figures that they were bringing up about that wall is the fucking maintenance costs of it. It's not just building the fucking
ridiculous,
thing. Apparently how much it costs to build it will be eclipsed in 7 years or something
like that. Yeah.
Holy shit. Talk about expensive footbridges. Jesus Christ.
Expensive footbridges.
Jesus. You think I've got a problem with that? The fucking 30-foot high wall going across the fucking
trying to keep people out from the western suburbs.
And then the problem of actually doing it on the border or not on the border, and I was talking about how there's other areas they've put up fencing and all of a sudden they went round in a section, so technically this whole fucking, some golf course or something was not technically in a US or in Mexico. Yeah, it's pretty full on. What about any thoughts on Hillary versus Bernie? Would you like to see either one of those in versus the other?
I really don't follow it that closely, to be honest. Not the American.
Another Clinton? You're cool with another Clinton?
Not really, no. But fuck, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Whoever's going to be the most moderate person, I guess. I thought Obama's pretty cool. Yeah. Being a pretty reasonable guy.
They're saying that a Hillary Clinton presidency is essentially a third Obama term. That's what they're saying to expect if you
No,
You liked
no one's
Obama?
perfect. No, not so much that
I think that's a very
like.
simple way to explain it.
Yeah, but I think it'd be 10 times better than whoever the fucking other side would pick.
Yeah.
But
Fucking Ted Cruz. He's basically probably the next front runner.
is he
in
like
Republicans.
Angelican and shit?
Yeah, Angelican? Evangelican? Yeah.
That's what I meant, yeah.
He's a nut, man. There's fucking a whole thing on the internet. I don't know if it's been going around for a while. I only noticed it today. That there's a theory that Ted Cruz is the Zodiac killer. And there's all these like photos, and like I saw this thing where they've like done a mock-up of Ted Cruz and like a known sketch of the Zodiac killer, and they've done it like Making a Murderer, where the fucking half the face is Ted Cruz. And yeah, Ted Cruz is like he's a fucking weird dude, man. He's just like he's awkward to watch, like yeah, and he's excuse me, he's big on he'd be the strongest Christian vote. But that's the weird thing about Trump's numbers, man. He's like, he seems to be getting enough numbers to say that a lot of Christians aren't voting the normal Christian way, like candidates like Ted Cruz. Maybe
it's a good thing that that's not being as big of an issue as it has been in the past, which is, in my view, a good thing. A lot of people wouldn't agree.
Replaced with fucking redneck racism. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think when's the actual election?
I think they said November.
So that's not far off, man.
It's still a fucking while away, though, for a fucking campaign. Like, how long have they been going already? But like, geez.
To not know who each nominee is yet?
Well, that's the American system, is that they've all vote for the candidate, and they all go back to the polls for the nominee.
Yeah. What else do I want to talk about? How long have we been going for?
Fucking, what kind of shit's all come out since we fucking Star Wars and all that kind of shit. Star Wars, I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, I did have Star Wars down on my list of things to talk about. I don't know, like I've toed and froed on my.
I've only seen it once as well. Like, I've got to go and see it again.
Yeah,
it's still in movies.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah,
it's still on at IMAX. So.
Full on. Yeah, look, it was, my opinion of it is that it was a lot of the same sort of vehicles used again, which I guess is why a lot of people are liking it as a Star Wars movie.
And it was New Hope 2, essentially.
New Hope 2, which one's that?
The first Star Wars. Not Phantom Menace, episode 4.
Right.
It's pretty much that storyline rehashed for a modern audience with a black guy and a chick.
A lot of my criticisms were things like, subsequently I've read some good explanations online as to why these things that I would bring up as an issue are not an issue, but like just the whole thing that it just seemed to come to her, all of the, okay, spoiler alert, obviously.
Oh, come on, if you haven't seen it by now, you're fucking tough shit. Jesus.
All of her like Jedi skills just come by like, closing eyes and like realizing, I can do this. Like, I know Kung Fu. Like a Matrix.
It is the first movie of a trilogy, so this stuff could be explained in the next following movie.
Yeah.
And there's like, I was reading online the other day, there's like 50 million spin-offs, man. There's like fucking, going to be like 3 or 4 other movies.
What do you mean?
Before the next Star Wars. Proper Star Wars, with like spin-offs of like characters from Star Wars having their own movies.
What?
I'm not sure if they were movies or TV shows or what the fuck, but like weird people that I don't know. Like, I'm not a big Star Wars nerd, so like, excuse me, but like, I think like Han Solo has a series or some shit, or there's a Han Solo movie or some shit where he passes the baton, or I don't know. I don't know. I just saw some shit online that there's more Star Wars stuff, a glut of Star Wars stuff to come out before the next proper Star Wars movie.
There was a lot more Harrison Ford in that new Star Wars than I thought there would be. which was pretty cool.
Like Chewie and stuff. It was definitely a Star Wars movie. It was like, you know, the music, the sound effects, the fucking battles and stuff. Like, it was like, well, man, this is proper Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. There was a few bits in it where you're like, oh, Hollywood. And the ending is just like, oh, come on, man. We were waiting for the whole fucking movie for this. Fucking credits. Come on, mate. But that going to make the next one pretty fucking tang. So.
Yeah. Just, okay, again, spoiler alert, but just remind me what happened in that last sword, fucking lightsaber battle that was like fucking perm hair dude.
Yeah.
And close my eyes now, I know kung fu.
Yeah, he didn't die.
He didn't die,
no, he didn't die. He went off.
Did he lose a limb or something?
Yeah, stretching my memory.
The Star Wars
I saw
way?
It close to when it came out, so it's been a while. I don't think he lost a limb. I think he got fucked up in some way. I think his face got fucked up or something.
Right. He ain't pretty no more.
Yeah. But that scene, well, like, fucking massive spoiler where fucking he kills Han. Was just so predictable. But
totally.
It wasn't done badly or anything, but it was just like, oh, we know what's happening here. And at the end when he goes up and meets Luke Skywalker, I was like, all right, fucking this is where it's going to get carnage. What's he been doing? He's been a recluse, and now fucking the fucking dark side's come back. He's gonna cut sick. You hope so, anyway.
I don't know. Yeah, next movie will be an interesting one to watch for sure. Yeah.
There's been heaps more than Star Wars as well, man. Like the new Bond's come out, which I thought was pretty meh.
We saw that in Melbourne.
We saw that in Melbourne.
Yeah.
What else have we seen? Again, plenty of shits. Like Revenant came out, which won the Oscar and stuff. Great
Awesome movie. Awesome fucking movie.
Again, you watched Hateful Eight the other night.
Yeah, it was really good.
Fucking
really good. This is
ages long.
Carnage. Yeah,
I've got to watch it.
It was over 3 hours, I think.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah, really cool movie.
There's been heaps of shit coming out. There's heaps of fucking games and fucking announcements, and like all VR's happened in this time, and
VR,
expensive VR, fucking Jesus.
Have you got any VR unit in your sights that you want to get?
I want to get, yeah, but whether I won't get it. It's too expensive.
Yeah,
it's like, especially in Australia, it's very expensive. So
yeah. What would be your choice though, out of the options?
Probably the Vive for Steam.
The Vive,
but it's more of like a spatial awareness type thing. So you need a full room for the Vive.
Yeah, right.
Like the Oculus and the PlayStation VR is more like just goggles and you can sit down.
Right.
But they're very expensive. I haven't used them, but I'd say that they're gimmicky. There's heaps of videos out there now that are doing all the full press.
Yeah.
Like all the hands-on and stuff. So check it out online. You can check. They've got extensive videos online. But yeah, too expensive, and it remains to be seen how effective they'll be.
Yeah, I'll need somebody to have one for me to try properly before I can even know if it's something that I'd be into. I've got a feeling that as somebody that used to get dizzy from Call of Duty on PlayStation 1, because if my crosshair turned too quickly that way, I'd start to get like almost like car sick.
Well,
I think strapping on first gen VR is probably going to fuck with me a bit.
Well, they have been in development for ages, but I agree, very much agree. See what apps and shit and games and stuff they work well with, and then make your decision. They're very expensive.
So here's one of my fucking old notes, right? Chris Gayle. How long ago was that?
Chris Gayle, that was Big Bash, so Christmassy.
So
January.
If anyone's listening and doesn't know who Chris Gayle is, who does he play for?
West Indies. He's a West Indies player, but he doesn't play Test cricket.
West Indies. So he was out in Australia for the Big Bash League, which is a cricket series that is like, what is it? It's like all
2020 domestic Australian
state teams, is it?
No.
They're allowed to just recruit.
There's a couple of franchises. It's like in each city and shit.
And anyway, so and they get all these all stars. So was Callis playing?
Callis, yeah.
And
Fucking half the West Indians because they want the money. Like a few Indians and shit. There was a few. I think AB de Villiers was playing.
And in the Big Bash is like the whole thing about it is like at number one is 2020, which is flashy cricket, but the Big Bash is even more sort of flashy. You know, they're like pumping fireworks when anyone like, you know, even blocks.
And someone farts.
Someone gets like just like lets a delivery go to the keeper, like fire.
Whoa.
So yeah, it's like this big, like, you know, spectacle kind of TV, and they have like different commentary than like your standard Test cricket or whatever. And one of the Big Bash presenters, do you even know her name? I don't even know her name. But she's
Melanie
like
something, I think.
Huh?
Melanie something.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, it's like, you know, most cricket's pretty male dominated, and it's like I think they use the Big Bash as a way to, like, you know, do things different and have female presenter. And this female presenter would actually go down and do, like, you know, what do you call them, like on-field interviews?
Boundary
interviews. Did he just get out?
He just got an out.
So Chris Gayle's like been batting and he's just gotten out and he's come off.
He had a pretty good score, so it was a pretty good inning.
It was like, you know, standard interview, you know, standard questions. You know what fucking sports interviews are like. And I don't even know what question he answered it with, but he basically was like, I can't quote it exactly. It was like, do you want to go out for a drink, baby? Or something like that. Was that what he said?
Yeah.
I should probably fucking Google it and get my story straight. But anyway, the fucking... Yeah, so that's... I didn't know about that when it happened. I found out about that subsequently. And there's like all these dodgy photos of him, like, having big, like gatherings of strippers and shit at his, like, house and stuff. And like, in jacuzzis, like, you know...
Apparently he's made advances to other journalists and stuff.
Yeah, right. But this is like live on telly, so, you know, obviously it couldn't be cut. And he's like, you know, come on, baby, like, loosen up or something. Like, oh, fucking, hang on. I made my mouse work for a reason.
Then we got Hefted. Finch on strike. Yep. Just trying to think back to English classes. It might be the teacher used to say the past participle of heft, possibly. I might be out of a depth there. Anyway, Mel McLachlan might be able to answer that with Chris Gayle.
I do have Chris Gayle. Congratulations. But you're just not in the mood to run today.
It's a bit cold, to be honest with you. It's a good wicket. The ball's standing up when the ball's short. So, I mean, it's all about rhythm. The first ball, you get 8 for 4, and then everything actually, you know, flow after that. So it was fantastic. And to be able to bat and Finch out there as well is the last game. So we want to entertain the crowd.
Incredibly aggressive approach for you two. It looks like you're absolutely just smashing this innings.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I want to come and have an interview with you as well. That's the reason why I'm here. So just to see your eyes for the first time. It's nice. So hopefully win this game and we can have a drink after. Don't blush, baby.
Not blushing. Did you any injuries? Did you have the boys were saying maybe you picked up a bit of...
Who's laughing in the background, you reckon? Who
I
else is
don't know.
commentating
Probably Gilly or someone. I don't know.
So,
like,
yeah.
She's kind of ambushed there. She's trying to ask fucking serious questions.
Yeah.
And he's just come on and said, well, I like your eyes. Let's go for a drink later. Hey, don't blush.
Yeah.
What's she fucking supposed to say? You know? Fuck off, mate.
It's a pretty shitty fucking thing to fucking say live on air. I mean, how fucking awkward is it? Like, you know, you're watching that and you're just like, oh, your skin crawls like for her.
Right,
you know,
dudes in
like,
the background are just like, fuck it, not helping. Jesus,
what an idiot! And did you see fucking Sam Newman fucking on the first episode of the Footy Show that came back? They gave him some fucking,
that's right, yeah,
like 5 minutes to do a rant of whatever he wanted to.
And he was like, "What's so bad about Chris Gayle?
What's the world coming to that some I can't give a compliment?" And it's like, that's not giving a fucking compliment.
That's ambushing
fucking...
her on live TV into making her feel fucking 2 inches tall. That's fucking ridiculous, man.
Pretty shitty. But yeah, so when was that?
of January. That wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago, yeah. There you go.
Fucking footy show. What about what we watched the other night? Fucking, the bald mate smashing. Fucking Gary Lyon. What do we call him? Hammock dude.
Oh, yeah,
Stretcher.
Hammock dude.
Stretcher. Smashing bald dude's wife. And he's shitty, man. That was like, he was seething in that interview.
But okay, so...
It was consensual and shit. He's just got the shits that he's fucking made.
But the way they treated it on going on the show and stuff, and what wasn't like. I'm pretty sure I saw like a news article about it, probably on Channel 9 earlier that day, and they're like
to find out what happened.
And they're sticking a microphone in Sam Newman's face, walking out onto the street, and he's like, "Look, we're going to address it on the show." It just like, it was like, what?
Hammed up. Yeah, well, like, who really gives a flying fuck about fucking, what's his name? Brownless.
Billy.
Who fucking cares? Like, honestly, and they're sitting down in chairs all serious and shit. It was like 20 minutes at the start of the season. Yeah. I'm like, man, do you really need to do this on TV? Like,
fully,
fucking
man.
hell.
Like,
Anyway,
do you reckon that fucking Gary Lyon will fucking come back to that show?
No,
after
of course,
that?
apparently he's very
any
ill.
capacity?
Apparently he's like fucking got cancer or some shit. So
what?
Yeah.
Full
Poor
on,
fucking dude. So
Jesus, way to fucking.
I don't think he'll be coming back.
Jesus, Billy, get over it, brother.
But yes, that was quite funny.
Full on. All right, well, let's call it. It was good just to pump out another podcast. It's been a while. We're gonna get the regular guests back again soon, and as always, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Stitcher and iTunes. So yeah, feel free to hit us up.
Get some activity on there to get us inspired to make some more for you guys. I'll be posting to online forums and shit as well. So reply and give us tips or discuss to inspire.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for joining us, and catch you soon.
Bye.